Make sure you check out Laura Christopher, please. And don't forget to subscribe to her channel and follow her on all major streaming platforms.
Yes, Lizzie.
I will put that at the start as well, because I always leave it to the last minute. So
You might get bored and not listen to the
Hi guys, welcome to Lizzie 121. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Now today I have the incredibly talented Laura Christopher. So, you've had an interesting start actually, because it hasn't been long since you started a solo career really in your life.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, when you first decided to go solo.
Sure. So I've kind of always been doing it solo in terms of like just doing music, it like covers and stuff. But in terms of my own stuff, that kind of started in September last year. And that was with Ben Slankham from AMS Music, who I know James Reedy also works with him as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, from there really, that's when I've been starting doing my own songs. So
That's great. And also you've had support from people like BBC West Midlands.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yes, I know, it's so good. So, well, it's BBC Hereford and Worcester at the moment, and then also BBC Gloucester.
That's it.
Gloucester.
I said West Midlands then, didn't I? I'm so used to my region that I'm like, what? Because you're from Worcester. That's your hometown, isn't it?
Yeah. So like Midlands is basically the same place.
And I've played all of your tracks so far.
Oh, cool.
Haven't they really? They've played Better Off as well, which is one of your recent ones. Sorry,
yes.
No, Caught
Up Good is my most recent one, and then Better Off. So my Better Off was the one that came out in September, and then Caught Up Good was January this year. So yeah, they've literally supported me throughout that, and then also YouthCom, which are like Worcester's, one of Worcester's like biggest radio stations, like local. So they've been amazing as well. Like this morning, I was just recording like a little jingle kind of thing to introduce like my new song, which is coming out next Friday actually. So
brilliant.
So yeah, no, it's been really cool. Like they've all completely backed me. So yeah, cool support.
So let's talk about the start of your music, because they're all up tempo, but the start was about moving on from someone, and now you're on about being in love with someone, really getting involved with him. But that's Caught Up Good. What I'm talking about there. So let's talk about like the difference between the whole meanings of the songs. Where did that come from? So
Better Off, to be honest, when I was like doing both the songs, like I was with my boyfriend that I'm still with now. So it's not, he was like, "What's that about?" And I was like, "Oh, it's nothing to do with you, don't worry." But like Better Off, because he got a bit offended by that, but it was all right in the end. But no, to be honest, Better Off is more about just being relatable to like girls, because I'm sure, or even like boys, men, everyone's kind of been through that thing where the other person's not treated them right, and you deserve better. And also one of my inspirations, actually, she hates me for saying this, but I used to work with a girl called Katie, who I'm really good friends with still, and she used to come in the office like each day like moaning about like boys and stuff, and everything, and I was like, oh my god, they can be such idiots sometimes, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna write a song about that, and yeah, I just wanted it to be like relatable to everyone and something with a bit of sass in it. Just when things were moving slow, 'cause I'm better off without your love. I'm so glad I'm over it. Yeah, you're cute but full of shit. You play good, I will admit, but I'm better off without your love. Girl power. And upbeat, keep it upbeat. And then the second one, Caught Up Good, so that was released a few months later. That is about like being like in love with someone, and to be honest, I think I wanted to do that as a bit of a not a sorry, but like to make it up to my boyfriend a little bit. I just can't wait another day. I found a person who can take this pain away. There's so much more to show him that I'm not better without him. You're good now though. Yeah, you're good now. Good. We got past that. Yeah, no, so yeah, they're both pretty upbeat. I think Caught Up Good is more like soul-y, whereas Better Off is more like pop music. Yeah, keeping it upbeat.
Can you remember the first, because obviously back feel like I'm old when I say this, but singles used to be available where you could buy them on CD. It's just the one track. Like some
Yeah.
people are watching this like, what? What is that? But like, was it 60p? What was your first ever album and single, or did you ever?
Do you know what? I can't remember buying my first ever CD because I think my mum just used to do that all the time. So I was kind of into whatever she was doing. I do always remember being sat next to my big like stereo there and like putting my CD in, and I think that was S Club.
Oh,
Thing.
good
But
old
it's
S,
actually
good old S Club. You can't beat
yeah,
a bit of S Club, can you? Really?
I know. Literally, I loved it. And when I listen back to it now, I'm like, oh my god, what tune? And then I remember when I got my first iPod. I think my first song on that was Jessie J, "Do It Like a Dude." I
Oh,
think.
Jessie. I've got a
Yeah,
bit of love for Jessie. Yeah.
I do love her. I went to see her in concert actually when she wasn't that big, and she was amazing at the O2 Academy. Yeah. So I love that. I love that kind of thing.
That's good. That's huge, isn't it? O2 Academy. Quite big, isn't it? Was that nice? Quite small, intimate. That's the intimate. That's it. Yeah.
The one that I went to in Birmingham, I don't think it's that big actually. And then obviously she's gone on to do like some crazy things, and now, or was she not with Channing Tatum anymore? I don't really know.
Well, they get all sorts, don't they, in the news? They are, then they're not, then they're back on. They are. I'm not like I'm friends with her. I don't know. I'm saying it like I know. And you've got a new release coming out now as well.
Yeah,
Do you want to announce the name of
yeah.
that track?
So my next song is coming out on next Friday, and it's called Faded Paradise. It was due to come out today actually, but because of basically the release.
So we're in the future, so we'll say it's out now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's out now. But yeah, basically, I think because in lockdown, everyone's just been making music, which obviously like is great because it's really inspires some people and they've got the time to do it. But obviously on the downside, it means like the distributors are finding it quite hard to keep up with it all and doing stuff on time. So, but yeah, no, all good really. And I'm really excited to see how people respond to that song. Yeah, that's upbeat as well. And it has got quite a deep meaning behind it. Do you want me to go into it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I actually wrote it with the help of like Ben. So I went in with like to the studio with basically notes on my phone, saying what I wanted to write about. Basically, it's about one of my like really close friends, Beck, that died in a car accident like a year and a half ago now. And so I just basically wrote everything down on my notes that like I kind of associated with her, like colours, like animals, like just everything. And we put this song together. And it is really upbeat. Like I didn't want to do anything, depressing because she wouldn't have liked that. So it's a really cool song. And I think if you don't know it's about that, then it's just a cool song. But if you do, then it's got that extra meaning behind it, which I think is quite nice. So yeah, I'm really excited for that to come out, and I think because my friends have heard it as well, because obviously they were all close to Beck as well, they're excited to see everyone else's response, so fingers crossed it does good.
And for those that have maybe not gone through something like that, what advice would you give to people that have experienced something?
I think I was very lucky in the sense of basically me and my friendship group, we're like very like solid, and we've been friends since high school, probably about 20 of us, so we were literally constantly around each other's houses. Like our parents were amazing, like just cooking us food all the time when there's like 20 people in the house.
So lovely.
Yeah, it was lush, and I think it is just staying together if you can, and yeah, just like keep talking. I know it sounds really cliche, but you've got to, because you get so fixated on it. And I think that, when people say, oh, I think about so and so every day, and you think you can't think about them every day. Like it becomes so true, and like you think you just go into a daydream, and it's like they just pop into your head, and it's just the weirdest thing, and you literally think about them every day. But yeah, I think if you can just voice that and talk to people who've gone through similar things, that's the best way to get through it, I think.
I think that's an interesting, because my mum would say that about her mum. She goes, you don't realise it until obviously you experience it. You do, you can't help, because they're meant so much to you, you can't help but think about them.
It is the weirdest thing. I think it's almost like they're not here, but your brain doesn't accept it. It's a really weird thing. it doesn't link up. So, but yeah, and a year and a half's gone by now, and you know, I know other people that have had it, like it's happened to them recently, and I've obviously reached out to them to say, you know, if you want to talk, you can talk. Could not being pushy or anything, but yeah, it's just having that support network and being able to voice everything.
I think that's very important, and especially now we're in quarantine. How's quarantine been for you?
It's been really weird, actually. I I couldn't have quit my previous job on a worse day, basically. It honestly,
Was it on the dot? Was it like literally, oh, corona?
I was planning to leave my previous job. It was I worked in like corporate events. I was leaving there for a while just because it was based in Stroud, and the I was traveling like 100 miles a day. It was just a bit too much. So I was like, okay, I'll leave like at the end of February. So the 28th of Feb was my leave date.
You planned
and
it?
Yeah,
Was
basically
it
then
prepped, all planned in your head, or did you plan and prep it in your head, or was it just something that you've been thinking of for a while?
Yeah, it was something I was definitely thinking of for a while, and then I spoke to my boss, and they were like, okay, like we'll just, you know, like set this day, obviously not knowing what was going to happen. And then I did have another job to go to. It was only a 3-month contract at the time, but I just thought I'd get my foot in the door at this company because I wanted to work there. And yeah, basically I was made redundant there before I even started.
Wow.
Ideal. So at the moment, thank God my previous employer that I quit at, they've rehired me to furlough me, which is amazing because I don't know how I could survive otherwise. But I did, as soon as all this happened, I literally went round to like every single supermarket I could, like where I lived, and just handed my CV in. So I'm working 2 days a week at Tesco at the moment, just like to earn that extra money and like just keep busy really. Because it's a weird thing, but then also it is a blessing in disguise, because in terms of music I've been really able to focus on that and like do all my covers and do like all the marketing that I need to do for my new song, because you don't realise how much goes into it really. So yeah, obviously it's a hard time for everyone, but it is almost a blessing in disguise, like in some parts as well.
I was talking to James about working with Ben actually. So when did that come about, AMS?
So they've been going for a while now. I can't remember exactly when they started, but I know the initials for it is actually Ben's mum's name. So I've got a feeling her first name is Amanda, and then middle name, and then Stankham. So that's where AMS comes from anyway. Sorry if I got that really wrong. And then it was basically a friend that we had in common. My friend does like video content for Ben, and he put us in contact because he knew I wanted to do music, and it went from there really. I went for a meeting with Ben July time last year, and then I booked into the studio for September, and that's when we did Better Off, and yeah, it's just gone from there really.
How has it been? Because obviously when you work on your own, there's a lot of work you have to do, so is it nice now having that backing, that support?
Yeah, definitely, and it's nice to know having someone that knows what they're doing. Like there's just so much that you wouldn't think about, like even just like distributing your music, and it's just always nice to have him at the end of the phone as well, like in case I am like panicking, or you know, he is very calm, and you know, he knows what to do, so that's a good thing.
That's brilliant. Another thing about when we're on about BBC, you were put, was it number 4 out of like hundreds of people, they ranked you as one to watch in 2020.
I know.
How was that? Where were you when you got that news, and what was that feeling that came through when you got that information?
Home, you know, because when you put a track onto the BBC, like introduce it and you submit it, and then every time it gets played on the radio, they basically send you a email to let you know and like what show it was on. So I listened back to it and I was like, oh my god, like I literally couldn't believe it. Honestly, I was shocked. So that was so good. But obviously, ones to watch in 2020, it's a bit well, what's happening in 2020 at the moment? Not much.
Everyone that said 2020 is my year. I don't.
It's not really, is it? Because I was obviously planning to do like lots of gigs and stuff. But obviously, that's just gone down the drain a bit. But yeah, I'm still doing music in lockdown.
You've done a collaboration as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Just recently you uploaded. Yeah, if you want to
Yeah, so I did that. He'd messaged me on Instagram actually. I've never met him. And I've got a feeling, I don't actually know where he's from. He's from either Chile or Spain. He's basically got these flags in his bio of those flags. So he's at one of them. But he literally speaks amazing English. Like that's why I didn't question it to start off with, because I was like, oh, like he's probably from the UK or something. But no, he was great. He just messaged me on Instagram, obviously seeing that I've been doing some covers, and he just kind of offered his assistance in terms of like live music for behind it. So like he used the ukulele and the guitar. And yeah, we did a collab of 8 by Billie Eilish.
Let me finish. I know you don't care, but can you listen? I came committed, guess I overdid it. Wore my heart out on a chain.
Yeah, that was really cool. And he was so good with it. Like he literally sent it over straight away. He like put the 2 parts together. He was really good. So I'm definitely going to do some more collabs with him, but then also like with other people as well, because I think it just adds a bit of something extra to it than just a backing track.
It's nice seeing that kind of in a I'm not saying a romantic way, but that relationship develop where you haven't met the person before, like you said. I wouldn't have known that. It's like you looked really comfortable when you were collaborating, and the edit was so good.
Oh yeah, he literally knew it all. I was like, right, how do I put this together? Then he was like, send it over, I'll do it. Like he was so good. And the response that we got was actually like amazing. Like I haven't had that kind of response in a while from my covers. So that was really cool. We were messaging about that and we said like we need to get on to the next one like ASAP really. So yeah, there'll be another one in the pipeline. I'm thinking kind of Miley Cyrus vibes. But yeah, we'll see.
That beautifully leads on to the influences I was going to ask, because you're very open in that, saying people like Ella Eyre, which I think she's great. Started out in Rudimental and then broke out solo. Miley Cyrus, you've also got, is it Billie Eilish is one?
To be fair, yeah, now that I've started doing covers, definitely, like I love her stuff. And then also Zara Larsson and Dua Lipa.
That's it. So why is it that? Because a lot of people always reach for the old school artists, so it's interesting hearing someone say they're like these new age artists. So why is that?
So I absolutely love like old music and stuff, but it's not, I've never like stuck to kind of an artist with old music. It's only kind of like new stuff that I really get involved in. And because my style is like, well, at the moment is pop, like dance, and a like bit of soul-y, I guess. I don't know, it's just something that those people are like people that I've always just kind of like been drawn to, and especially Dua Lipa at the moment with all her kind of like creative content as well. That's how I'm like would like to be like develop into, if you know what I mean. And I also think Miley Cyrus, because I just grew up watching Hannah Montana all the time.
You were like, what happened to Hannah? With Robin Thicke at that music awards. I'm like, what?
Okay, maybe not that part of her life. I'm not inspired by that part. But recently, yeah, I don't know. I really like her style. Like, I think she's like very natural.
Her voice, she's got a timeless voice. People focus on aesthetics, but her voice is, amazing. I'd say, one of the best in her game.
I absolutely love it, and I love how she's got like a bit of a country twang to it as well. I also think her sister Noah Cyrus is doing amazing. She's really cool.
I hate that word underrated. It really irritates me because everyone's good in their own right, but it's just the whole, I guess, promotion side for her. People need to focus more on her because she's another one to watch.
Really good, isn't she? I think I'm sure she did I looked at my Instagram and I think, or she did an interview or something, or it could just be, like a load of like rubbish from the press. I remember reading something where it said like she felt like she was a bit in like Miley's shadow or something like that.
There's a song based on that.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's the one. One of her recent releases.
Yeah, it must be really difficult, but at the same time, it has kind of helped her, because without her sister, like, would she be where she is? Do you know what I mean? It's one of those. But
and you shouldn't hate on your sister. I mean, she's worked hard. What she's got. I mean, I know her dad's, but was he Billy Ray Cyrus or something?
You Break Your Heart, I love that song.
What's it? That's a good point as well. What's it like for someone like yourself? Because obviously, I'm not saying that they've been given that kind of door open to them, but in a way, it's a lot easier for them. So, what's it like for people like yourself that are homegrown and then trying to break into the industry?
Do you know what? It's one of the most difficult things. Literally, people talk about it all the time, but until you do it, it feels like it's impossible. And it feels like you're putting all the stuff out and you're almost not getting anything back from it. And it is really difficult, but you've just got to be in that mindset where like this is what you want, this is what motivates you. You've just got to keep going. And that's what it is for me, really. Like, and the thing is, I'm enjoying doing it. I'm enjoying the process of it. It's not like, you know, it's like hard work or anything like that, but it is, I think, to get any return out of it, it takes, I'd say, a few years, unless you're one of those lucky ones that, you know, someone hears you and they're high up in the music industry. You just got to keep at it, because it can be draining, but I think in the end, hopefully it'll be worth it.
That's great. So I feel like even though you're going for trying to push yourself, you're still positive, and that's an important thing.
Definitely. I think if you've lost your love for it, then there's just no point in doing it anymore. I think you've just got to keep loving what you do, and you know, that's when you know that it's right for you.
So what is the future for Laura?
Oh God. Do you know what? I have no idea. I think in terms of like my personal life, I need to get a job. That's so fine. Because I can't keep on two days a week. But yeah, I'm just still looking. But in terms of like my music career, this year I was meant to be performing at the Big Festival. I've forgotten what part of the UK that is now, but I went there last year actually, and it was Lewis Capaldi that was headlining, and I think
wow.
Yeah, and basically BBC Introducing had invited me to go on their stage and perform and do a slot and stuff, which obviously I was like, yes, this is like the year.
Stoked. Let's do it.
Honestly, so excited. I couldn't believe it when I got the email. And then obviously it's been cancelled. It's meant to take place at the end of August, so I kind of had my fingers crossed a bit. But yeah, obviously it can't happen now. So
future, you can in the future. I will.
Yeah, exactly. So fingers crossed. They'll be taking the same acts along to next year. So I am hoping that. So I've got lots of stuff like that. Hopefully in the pipeline with like gigs and stuff, festivals. I definitely want to do. Obviously the release of the new song, music videos for those, and yeah, just keep at it. And I definitely want to next release an EP, because I've got 3 singles out at the moment, which I've loved doing, but I do want to create kind of like a solid, you know, like album / EP with a few songs on there. Yeah.
And for those that don't know what EP is, I'm not saying you don't. I'm not trying to belittle people, but it's like extended play, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's something that basically like new artists put out as a little taste album, because obviously you don't usually have the funding to do an album of 12 songs or something like that.
Mastering them all, are you like, whoa, how much money?
Yeah, I imagine, just come out with 20 songs. So yeah, it's something that it's just a bit of a taster. It's a shorter version of it for new artists, basically.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to Faded Paradise as well.
It's more of a like dance song, I'd say. It's like dance pop, but no, it's really cool, and like Ben obviously did an amazing job on producing it, so yeah, I'm excited.
You're a songwriter as well, which is something that's important to you. When did that start, and when did you first put pen to paper?
To be honest, I think I always took English and stuff like that. That sounds really boring, but I always did English and stuff at, you know, school, and then took it on further to A level. So I've always kind of loved like the language of it, in terms of like different meanings behind words and everything. But it wasn't actually until I met Ben that I actually wrote my first song, just because I don't play any instruments. Like, I'm learning piano at the moment. I found it really hard to obviously write a song to something that I didn't have a beat to. I just couldn't do it. I mean, I think I wrote like stupid little songs when I was probably like 10, sat in my bed. I've probably got one about a horse or something, I don't know.
Oh yeah, release that one. That can be your EP.
Yeah, we like the new Lil Nas and Billy Ray.
Exactly.
So yeah, like little stuff like that. But yeah, it wasn't until I met Ben that I kind of really got into it and started songwriting. So not too long, but obviously since that he's then introduced me to like beats that you can get online, that people put out for use, of like free usage that you can write to. So that's something I'm gonna use for my EP, and then you kind of adapt it to your sound a bit more.
So, and I'll ask you about the future, but are you hoping to do any future collabs? And if there are any, do you have anyone in mind that you hope to do collabs?
So I'm definitely going to do another one with Tom that I did. And then I actually did reach out to James Reedy as well, because I follow him on Instagram.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
So I'm thinking if he plays the guitar and then we both sing and do some harmonies and stuff.
I mean,
like
you're practically a family, so in the same.
True. In the same circle. And then there was definitely Hannah Mack from Worcester as well. I think we're gonna end up doing one, but again that's just a cover. But in terms of a collab, like an original collab, that is something that I really do want to put in my EP. I don't know who I want to put in it yet, like, because I don't know what vibe I'm going to go for, whether it's going to be like a singer or a rapper, but that is something that I am really interested in doing, like in terms of original music. So that could be quite cool.
Oh, wicked. Well, I look forward to that. I know everyone else does. And also, and I advise everyone to go and check out your Instagram, and also, is it all major platforms? Spotify? You on? Is it Deezy? I never get the Deezy thing. I'm so old. I feel like I'm old and I'm not. I don't get all of this, like, what?
Honestly, when you put it out to the distributor, they list all the different stores that they put it on, and some of them I've never heard of. Like, it's all these like crazy ones, and I think Ben said as well it can like end up in some random jukeboxes in pubs as well. So literally.
I hope so. I mean, those pubs will be absolutely packed once quarantine's over. Everyone's going to get bladdered. I am not looking forward to this, but I won't know because I'll be drunk with them.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be fine. I just feel like even like one drink though, I'm going to be absolutely smashed because I haven't drunk in so long. That's
so true. I was like that last night. I probably shouldn't be admitting this. Yeah, I was like one Disaronno down. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it hits you in a different way, doesn't it? At the moment, it's really weird. I feel like such a lightweight, but yeah, I can't wait to get back out. Can't wait. It's going to be so good.
I'm really looking forward to Faded Paradise. That is out now. It sounds so weird saying that because it's not, but it is.
Out now.
But thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Cool. It's been a good chat.
I've had a right laugh, so I appreciate that. It's always nice when you can laugh with someone.
Yeah, definitely. It's been good.
But yeah, make sure you check out Laura Christopher, please, and don't forget to subscribe to her channel and follow her on all major streaming platforms.
Yes, Lizzie.
I will put that at the start as well because I always leave it to the last minute. So
you might be bored and not listen to it.
Oh no, come on.